So the MrBeast drama situation somehow just got massively worse with the release of former MrBeast employee Dogpack 404's second video in his expose series on MrBeast, the video titled, "I Worked For MrBeast, and He's a Sociopath." You know what they say, if you're gonna come at the king, you best not miss, and you best believe that holds true when it comes to the golden boy of YouTube, MrBeast. Hello everyone, I'm Finn. Welcome back to finnfilms. Since the entire YouTube sphere is talking about this MrBeast situation, I mean, you can't even browse YouTube casually without seeing one of the videos addressing this drama, reacting to this situation, and going over it. I thought I might as well weigh in on it, especially after the release of Dogpack's second video, most of the video being an interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, who has a true horror story experience from working with MrBeast, and probably most shocking of all, claims that MrBeast had an employee who worked for him for years that was on the registry. Yeah, I'm talking that registry. The one that's in your head right now? Yeah, that's the one that we're talking about. You know, the one that you're on a list for the rest of your life. Apparently, this guy being referred to as Delaware because he could never step foot into the state of Delaware again. So this whole catastrophe for MrBeast started about a week or two ago with the Chris Tyson situation, an employee and close friend of MrBeast, who was caught being a little sussy baka on Discord with minors. A few days later, Dogpack 404, another former MrBeast employee, dropping his first video expose on MrBeast, the video titled, "I Worked For MrBeast, and He's a Fraud." In that video, Dogpack goes into detail on his time working for the MrBeast company, explaining that, well, apparently, it's not really a great work environment in the MrBeast organization, and in that video, he makes a number of claims. Some of these claims are a lot more dramatic and serious than others. First off, a claim that a lot of the internet took hold of was the claim that a lot of MrBeast videos are, well, fake. I mean, duh. I thought this was kind of obvious for anyone over the age of 21. I mean, MrBeast videos are basically just like reality TV, YouTube videos for kids aimed at the ages of like what? Like 8 through 15. Of course, a lot of aspects of MrBeast videos are fake or are highly dramatized. I mean, did you really think that this dude actually cured 100 blind people? Out of all of the claims that Dogpack made in his first video, this is the one that people really latched onto the most, and this was nowhere near the worst thing that Dogpack has alleged that MrBeast has done. No, that would be the claims that MrBeast ran a illegal lottery, a crime, by the way, as well as the claims that there was some absolutely horrific treatment of contestants on MrBeast's new Amazon game show, Beast Games. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I dropped out after my first year of law school, but this illegal lottery claim does seem to have some weight to it. Apparently, allegedly, a few years back, MrBeast on a live stream allegedly ran an illegal lottery sweepstakes. Put simply, he was doing a giveaway of prizes in exchange for buying these signed shirts. Buying a signed shirt, putting you in the sweepstakes to potentially earn one of these prizes. Dogpack also claiming that a lot of these shirts weren't even actually signed by the real MrBeast, which we can literally see one of his employees faking MrBeast's signature in this footage in the video. This apparently would qualify as an illegal lottery, as to run a legal sweepstakes, this giveaway being a sweepstakes very much so, you need to have some sort of like free entry into the sweepstakes. Generally, this is in the form of mailing in some kind of postcard. And this one very much did not have that, so it does seem like it is possible that this giveaway, this lottery, could qualify as an illegal lottery, which is a crime. Next, the claim that the conditions on the set of MrBeast's Amazon show Beast Games are absolutely horrific. There are many claims that have come forward that the conditions on the set of Beast Games are just absolutely horrible. Claims that people on the show were being wheeled off in stretchers. Other claims of severe bodily injury, a lot of them to women. Many other claims that they were being denied food or that the show didn't account for dietary restrictions and allergies. One of the most jarring claims I've seen is that some of these contestants said that their medication was either denied to them completely or not distributed on times. A lot of these medications being potentially life or death scenarios, some of these medications not being distributed in time, or claims that the staff refused to give them food in order to take with this medication, and that they had to continuously beg for food to take with their medication until one of the producers gave them half a banana. Yikes, that's not good stuff. If even half of these claims are true regarding Beast games, then that is not a good look for MrBeast and for Amazon. And after what we learned in Dogpack's second video and in his interview with Chris Weddle, another former MrBeast employee, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it comes out that a lot of these conditions on Beast games turned out to be worse than what has been reported so far. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see for a response from MrBeast onto these claims. So for the second part of the video, I'm going to be discussing Dogpack's second video on his expose series on MrBeast, the video titled I Worked For MrBeast and He's a Sociopath, a large portion of the video being an interview with Chris Weddle, a former employee of MrBeast. Some of the stuff in this video gets a little heavy, so here's some Overwatch 2 gameplay to take your mind off of how absolutely fucked up a lot of this stuff is. So Chris Weddle was a former writer and an on-screen talent for the MrBeast organization, the MrBeast company. In the interview with Dogpack, he discusses a lot of the kind of toxic work environment that it seems to be present at the MrBeast company. Essentially that there is this extreme pressure to make MrBeast happy no matter what, and basically to do exactly what he says, to give him what he wants, as at the end of the day, according to Chris Weddle, he's the guy with the money and most of the employees do whatever they can to make him happy as they don't want to lose their job. So when he says dance monkey dance, you best believe you better be dancing.
I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure.
Apparently, it's a common practice in the MrBeast organization to not take no for an answer. No, literally in the employee manual, it says that no doesn't necessarily mean no. Like, what the f are we doing here? So Weddle was apparently let go from the company after asking for a raise, as he felt like as a writer he deserved to make more money, as according to him he was barely getting by on the money that he was making, and seeing as the product that he was helping to create in the writing was raking in buku bucks to say the least, I think it's a pretty fair request to ask for a little bit more money. Apparently Weddle was let go from the company not long after having this conversation with his bosses about getting this raise. I'm super curious to know like what the company's reasons were for actually letting him go, as he might have said it in the video, but I don't remember, as you can't just fire someone for no reason in the real world. There needs to be some kind of just cause for termination from a job, so I'm very curious to know what the actual reasonings were why Chris Weddle got fired from the MrBeast company. Where things really start to take a turn, where things really start to get fucked up, is in Weddle's participation in a video about a little over a year after his firing. A couple of years back, MrBeast released a video where he had a contestant see how long he could stay in solitary confinement, and they would give him a bunch of money for each day that he managed to stay in the confinement. What people didn't know is this is actually the second time that they filmed this video, the first time being with Weddle as the contestant, and it did not go so well. Wow, shocker, a video where we are paying people to get put through cruel and unusual punishment ending in complete disaster? Well, color me surprised. A good chunk of Dogpack's second video in this interview is over Weddle's experience shooting this video, Weddle being kept in basically a large cage being filmed 24/7, Weddle saying that he was going to get paid 10 grand for every day that he stayed in solitary confinement, the producers telling him that he needed to make it at least 30 days so they could get enough footage so they could make some content and make a video out of this. In his time shooting this video in solitary confinement, Weddle says that he struggled to sleep at all as the production team removed all clocks from the room. As well, they kept the lights on the entire time he was in there, which is pretty omega f***ed up, by the way. If you didn't know, humans are not made to function in an environment that has light 24/7.
I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
It's pretty hilarious to me that out of all of the videos that MrBeast has made and has apparently faked, they, for some reason, couldn't fake this one. Now, it is important to say that Weddle could have quit the video and the challenge at any time, something that I'm sure the MrBeast team will use to defend themselves when eventually they release their statement. But in Weddle's words, he was absolutely desperate for the money. He needed this money, and there was an immense amount of pressure from producers and from Jimmy himself for him to stay in this cage for as long as humanly possible. Obviously, it goes without saying that spending days upon days sleep deprived in a fully lit room where you are on camera the entire time is, well, not great for your mental health. I know, a real hot take there. So it's not surprising that things started to spiral out of control pretty quickly. One of the most fucked up things that apparently happened in the recording of this video was that MrBeast wanted Weddle to complete a number of challenges while he was in this solitary confinement. According to Weddle, he refused a number of these challenges, but finally MrBeast presented him with a challenge to run a fucking marathon on a treadmill. A fucking marathon, dog. You know, the thing that some runners and athletes literally spend years training for. They wanted this kid to complete a marathon to do it while absolutely zooted out of his mind from sleep deprivation and in a horrible mental state, you know, from the solitary confinement, the lack of sleep, and having to endure light 24 hours of the day. I mean, what were these people actually thinking? Again, Weddle could have declined to do this challenge, but in the interview with Dogpack, he states that he had already declined several of the previous challenges before, and he was now under immense pressure from the producers as well as from MrBeast himself to try to do and complete this challenge, so he relented. And somehow this kid actually managed to do it.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know? And if I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport and I wanted to get the boost and I wanted the cash. And so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out.
Mind you, he absolutely destroyed his feet and his body in the process of completing this marathon. But yeah, somehow he actually managed to do it. This whole idea of like immense pressure from higher ups in the MrBeast company and from Jimmy himself is kind of a consistent theme for this interview. And this type of pressure does seem to exist on everyone in the MrBeast company, at least according to Weddle and other former MrBeast employees. Basically, this idea that it is in your best interest to make Jimmy happy, basically to not rock the boat, and everything will go well for you in the company. Again, no doesn't seem to mean no in MrBeast land, apparently. After completing this marathon, Weddle wouldn't really last that much longer in the solitary confinement, finally telling producers that he was done and that they needed to get him out of there ASAP, as the kid could barely walk or stand because of the blisters on his feet, along with his rapidly degrading mental state because, again, lack of sleep and keeping the lights on 24/7 in solitary confinement. Obviously, because of how much of a train wreck the filming of this video was, this video never made it past the cutting room floor. In Weddle's words, he was just a guinea pig for this video concept idea, as the MrBeast team would shoot this video again with a new contestant, having learned from their first train wreck experience making this video and making a number of changes to the video recording process and to the idea of solitary confinement. Namely, in the second video, they actually turned off the fucking lights.
I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it.
This shit is crazy, it's wild, and it's really up, and it really just shows the lengths that people will go to for money and when they get pressured into doing things, and when a guy with a bunch of money tells you to do something that many people have a hard time saying no. Towards the end of the video, they show a number of text conversations between Weddle and other MrBeast employees that lend credence to his story here and the insane conditions that they were putting him through in the filming of this solitary confinement video. And I'm sure that there are some people out there that are probably just thinking that Weddle is just embellishing this story for the camera, so there's some actual proof, some evidence that this actually took place. There's a lot more text that are included in Dogpack's video. I'm not going to cover them here. Obviously, you should go watch Dogpack's entire video for yourself to draw your own conclusions from the video and the claims that are made. But to me, it seems pretty obvious that what this dude went through had some severe mental effects on him, as well as physical effects on him, as I'm sure it would for anyone who tried to complete this challenge under these circumstances. There's a reason why even in places like prison, they turn off the lights when it's time for people to sleep, because humans are not made to exist in 24/7 daylight, as it does some kind of messed up stuff to our minds. Finally, we get to what I think might be the most insane claim that was made in this second video by Dogpack. The claim that for years, MrBeast employed a guy who was on the registry. Yeah, that registry, and that this guy was convicted of some pretty serious crimes with a minor. A guy referred to at the MrBeast organization by many employees there as Delaware. And I shit you not, apparently they called him Delaware. This was his nickname because this guy could not step foot into the state of Delaware ever again.
That guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
Like, Jesus Christ, and this is this guy's nickname at work. Like, what is happening at the MrBeast company, man? It somehow, though, continues to get worse, as apparently this guy made a number of appearances on camera in MrBeast videos, but just see, he always is wearing a mask. That's a little strange. Why would he wear a mask? Well, maybe, just maybe now, it's because his face and his name are publicly listed on a national registry that anyone could access and look up and kind of put two and two together. So should he appear on camera without the mask, anyone could find out who this person was.
He'll be in videos. He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered under? And that your face could be looked up on a thing?
Like, if that's not some compelling evidence that they knew this guy's past and what he had done to minors and were actively trying to hide it, then, I don't know what is. I refuse to believe that a business that makes as much money as MrBeast's company doesn't do some sort of background check on their employees when they're hiring them. I refuse to believe that's the case. So to me, there's like almost no shot that they didn't know this guy's past before they hire him, especially considering the fact that everyone called him Delaware, and according to Weddle, it very much seemed like this was relatively public knowledge what this guy did. And according to Weddle, towards the very end of the interview, they were even trying to help get this guy's record expunged, which again seems to allude to the fact that it was common knowledge. They very much knew the kind of crimes that they had, that this guy had committed when they hired him.
So finally, I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
And the fact that a guy like this works for a company that makes content for children and then regularly interacts with said children, to me, you know, might just be a little problematic. I don't know, maybe a little? So far, MrBeast himself hasn't responded to like any of the claims put forward in these two videos, as it seems like his plan of attack has been to sick his team of lawyers on dogpack, sending him a cease and desist instead of addressing the very pressing claims of illegal lottery, as well as worrying conditions on the sets of his Amazon video and the sets of his YouTube videos, along with apparently claims that he knowingly hired a that worked for him for an extended period of time at his company. Things then are not really looking good for MrBeast. This video was pretty damning in my opinion for Jimmy, especially the last part about a Mr. Delaware. That is not a good look for a content creator who has kind of very cultively made a brand and image revolving around this like wholesome guy who does works for charity and makes glorified reality TV content for tweens. Will this be the end for MrBeast? Probably not. I mean, this is YouTube's golden boy. This guy is so massive, he might actually be too big to fail at this point. At the very least, Dogpack's videos have definitely opened some people's eyes around the world and made people realize that maybe the carefully crafted PR persona of MrBeast is not the real Jimmy Donaldson. And it seems like things are only going to get worse when Dogpack eventually releases his third video in the series. This shit is wild. It's absolutely insane. It's one of the wildest situations I've ever seen on the internet in my many years trolling around on the internet. And I really can't wait to see how MrBeast eventually responds to these many mounting claims that are piling up against him, because at this point he needs to respond, and he needs to respond well. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as that's the easiest way to support me and put these videos in the algorithm. Let me know what you think of this insane situation in the comment section down below. As well, don't forget to check out Dogpack's video, which I'll link in the top of the description, as well as Weddle's channel, which I'll link right under that. If you did enjoy this video, then why don't you check out some of the other videos on screen now. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you stay safe out there. It's a freaking crazy world that we live in. Until next time, peace. Love. Adu.